What have you guys? So, in this training today, I'm going to actually do a quick training for you because um, I've had a lot of conversations and I wanted to share with you how to understand your money math. Now, if you're early in your business, let's say you haven't yet hit your six figures yet, um, and you want to, right? Like you want to get to, okay, that's fine. So you want to get to six figures, but you're just like, how do I do it? It seems really hard, and when I say six figures, I mean 100, 200, 300, 500. It, this math is going to work regardless of wherever you are in your journey. And so I want to share with you the money math and how I went from zero to six figures in less than the first year of my business and how you can do that too. Okay. And so I'm going live on YouTube, in LinkedIn, and I'm trying to go live on Facebook as well. So let me see if I can do that real quick. Bear with me for a second. I'm just teching through this. Ooh, I get to do that. Okay. Let's see here. So I'll be just starting in a minute. You can grab a piece of paper and a pen. I'm going to start shortly. And okay, cool. So I can grab this and let's see if I can do this really quick. Can I do full screen? I can. I can do full screen. Okay. Bear with me for a second. I can't wait to share this information with you guys. It's going to be like life changing. It's going to be so good. I put it here, then I could put this here, and then I could put this here. Thank God for two screens. Some days I don't use it, some days I do. And today is one of those days. Okay. All right, I think I can do this. All right, so let's see window. Thank you so much for your patience. And I think we're good to go. Let's see here. Yep, did it. Take that, technology. Okay, we're ready to go. That's awesome. That's so cool. All right. So, really quick. So, recapping on what we're covering in this training together, I just wanted to share with you that you could do this. If you're under six figures, you haven't hit that six figure threshold, meaning 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 500,000. Don't worry, I got you. We're going to go over that today. So get a piece of paper and a pen, write it down, really just kind of listen, because this is all based off how I did it and how I've helped many people do it over the course of my career. So I just wanted to share with you these tips to really just bless you in a really big way and just give you all the things. So we're going to cover how much do you actually need to do, or how much money do you want? How much money do you want? Who to sell it to, how many to sell, and knowing your numbers. And these are the things that we're going to cover. So these four pillars are actually going to talk about today. Let's talk about how much. So if you're like, I just want to hit $300,000 in my business this year, I got you. There is a simple mathematical strategy that you can start applying right now. And I'm actually going to show you right now what it's going to look like. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. And this is like legit a training. It's going to be so cool. So, one, how much? Can you read that? Let's see if that comes up. There might be a little bit of a delay. So, let's see. Still connected. All right. So, number one is how much. So, when I say how much, we're just going to go without the notes for a second. How much is what have you envisioned? And a lot of people will say, you know what, how much can I get? That is the wrong energy. We do not want to go, how much can I get? This is like, I'm just going to focus on what is available to me right now when you are not aware of all of the opportunities that are available for you. Because I'm guaranteeing this, that you don't even know the opportunities that are available to you right now. You don't know all of them. You only know what you're able to see. And there is way more opportunities, not just like in government contracting, because I talk about that quite a bit, but also there's new opportunities for you to partner with people, to create offers for people that really need your help, that actually want you to help them. And you might be missing opportunities. And just because you're thinking, well, what can I get with what I've got? You need to look at it differently. And really, and I really believe this, like any idea that you have in your mind of like what you want in your life, like you say to yourself, I want to create this really big business, or I want to have a whole bunch of freedom, time freedom to spend with my family, to travel. This keeps coming up, is like to travel the world, to see the world. It's like, but I have to work. Like someone's got to pay the bills, right? And the system has taught us and has educated us on how to think about our time, our value in terms of a conversion of hours. So, well, I have to work a certain amount of hours in order for me to feel okay and good with actually making money. And that is a lie. That is just a lie, okay? What's real is value. Okay, so there is a specific value for what you do, whatever you do. If you're working a job, you have a value. If you have a business, you have a value. There is a value to what you do in the business. Now, do you know your value? Maybe and maybe not. You might see a different perspective on your value, but that's not necessarily the value to the person who is paying you. That's different. You've ever heard someone say like, you just need to provide them valuable content on social media. Do you know, like raise your hand, like type in the chat. Do you know what value is? Do you know how to articulate value? Because you might be thinking to yourself like, well, I know my value. I know the value of this offer, but do you know the value that the person that's going to be buying from you articulates value? Do they see that, wow, what you do actually brings them or gets them to achieve their goals faster, transforms their lives, makes them more money, like whatever it might be. If you are in the health space, if you have, if you're selling to businesses, if you're selling to couples and people in relationships and on communication, and just, it doesn't matter what offer you have or what services or products you have. It's about understanding the value that the person that's going to buy it understands it. So that means that we have to do our market research. I know I just said the word that nobody likes to hear, market research, but I guarantee that if you do this properly, you'll start to see things differently. I had a client of mine went through my program, and she was able to surpass her financial goal within 1 month. Like what she had planned for the year, she was able to do in 1 month. That's powerful, but because she understood the value of what she was delivering. And you might think to yourself, well, what I have is not really that valuable, because you're thinking about it. Because you're thinking about it. You need to think about, what is the person that's going to be buying what I have to sell? What do they value? What do they value? So how much do you need to sell? Like how much do you need to sell, and how much money do you want to make? That's a better question to ask, opposed to how much can I get? No. How much do you want? This frees you from believing that you have to ask for permission to get more, to make more, to have more, because you don't. That's a lie. What's true is that there is an abundant flow of opportunities, and we just need to be creative to understand and be aware of what's available. Truth. That's 100% true. If you ask any wealthy person, pro, that's in their field, they're not asking themselves, how much can I get? They're asking themselves, how much do I want? So that's number one, is how much do you want? Now we understand that, we can move on to who to sell it to. Who to sell it to. Because once we know what we're selling and where we're going, what's the end goal that we're trying to achieve, now we just figure out who's going to be on the journey, or who are we trying to bring onto the journey so that we can get success, but they can get success. There are a lot of coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs, business owners, what have you, that are trying to sell something so that they feel good. That's just like, I can't even tell you how many things that I have bought in that situation and I hated it and I ran away from them because I thought I can never trust you. You see, there is just a trust barometer. And the further in the buyer's journey that people go through, the higher the trust goes, like the higher the trust goes. And so you want to increase trust in your audience. You want to increase trust with your clients and let them know that you actually care about them. Like you want to help them accomplish their goals, transform their life, and get the results that you promised. Okay, this is about integrity. This is about being honest, transparent. Like, what can you actually accomplish? Not just on your own, but like what offers you could create. It's just, I mean, there's just endless supply of opportunities. I talk about this in government contracting a lot because when business owners come to me, they think, well, there's not a lot of contracts out there for my business. And I have to share back to them and says, wait a minute, are you looking for a specific type of opportunity? Because sometimes those opportunities look like that one thing, but they're actually another. What do you mean, Melinda? Well, if you understand GovCon stacking and you understand different strategies to win government contracts, then you'll see that there's more than you might not be looking at, like you might not be aware of. Say you want to be a prime. So say you want to be the one who owns the contract and doing business with the government, or say you want to be a subcontractor. Well, that's a different scope of work. That's a different description that they're going to put out there that you might be overlooking because you don't understand how to play the game. Then there's another way to do joint ventures. Well, you say, oh, well, it's such a big contract. I don't have a big team. It's just me. Well, can you joint venture or can you partner with somebody else that does have those things that you don't have and complement each other and solve the problem that that client has? There are so many ways to look at it. And so if we think about limitation, then we're going to get limitation. But if we think about abundance, we're going to get abundance. So who do you sell it to? It's not just to say, well, it's too expensive. Who's going to buy this? No, it's about saying who has this painful problem that is willing to buy and can buy what I have to sell them. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Before I came across this information, I was freelancing for 13 years. And I didn't understand. I was just doing hourly work until I had a coach who explained to me what hourly work was doing to me. It was stealing from me. It was making me bitter. It was making me exhausted and tired. And in result, I wasn't able to provide the highest level of value to my clients. Well, when I went full-time in my business, I created an entire suite of high ticket or premium offers. And because of this, it was able to help me just free up a lot of my time, but focus a lot more on getting my clients real results, things that actually took them to the bank. The fact that one of my stats in my agency is helping my clients achieve over $4.4 billion is a reflection of me focusing on premium offers versus hourly. I believe 100% that I would have not been able to get those results for my clients if it wasn't for the fact that I could charge or gave myself permission to charge for premium offers. And they happily paid it because they saw that the return was much higher than what they paid me. So it's not about how much things cost, but how are you positioning your offers? How are you positioning out into the marketplace? And because I attract people who have big hearts like me, who are just servant-hearted, who wants to help the world, who wants to transform the world, a lot of times, and I was there too, a lot of times I see and hear from people that say, well, I want to serve people who don't have money. They don't necessarily say that, but when we go into our strategy session, we talk about that. And I say, well, how is it reflecting in your dollars, and how is it reflecting in your business? It's like, well, I'm struggling. Well, it's because you have an offer and you're selling to an audience that cannot buy that offer. It's just a simple, logical strategy that you've been implementing, but it's not working. So what we need to do is change our audience, and that's challenging. But we can always get them. We can always come back and help other people that they can't afford our premium offers. There's other ways to do that. It's like there's free content like social media, YouTube's, right? You're engaging, you're supporting them, providing them a ton of value, things that you would give, that you would charge for, but you're giving for free. Give that away. And for those that want some more expert help, some more guidance, some more support, then that's when you invite them to do business with you. Now, everyone's happy, right? It's a win-win-win, but there's opportunities for you to transform the way that you run your business and support the people you want to, but not calling them to, you're not inviting them to buy. You're not staying focused on one audience that can't buy. You're focusing on an audience that can buy, and you're making space for others to come into. You might think to yourself, I don't know where to start. Guess what? You're not alone. Many people focus on how much they want to make, but don't break it down into real numbers. So I want to share with you, and it's working, yay. I want to share with you exactly how to reverse engineer your revenue goals step by step. And so let's try it again. Let's see. No, it's still not showing up. Okay. Then I will explain it to you because I don't give up. So I don't believe in giving up. So what we need to look at is to understand our real numbers is where we want to go first. That's the goal. And then we need to reverse engineer, understand how many offers that we need to sell. Now, if you're charging hourly, realizing like the math is that you have, I'm going to do it for myself here. You have an annual revenue goal, let's say of $300,000 a year for this year, let's say. And you're charging hourly. And let's say, for example, you're charging, let's say $300 an hour. So the math there is you're charging $300 an hour. That means that you have to work 1,000 hours to make that in your business. Now, keep in mind that doesn't include expenses. That doesn't include overhead. That doesn't include taxes. So in America, and I'm not a CPA or an attorney in any way like that. But for me and my business, we set aside at least 30 to 50% for taxes. So if your goal is to make 300,000, what is your takeaway after just taxes, plus the cost of your software, like your email and your website and your domain and any travels or trips that you're taking and investments that you're taking? Granted, a lot of courses and programs that are helping you grow your business are tax write-offs, by the way. But we still need to do some work to get there, right? So how do we do that? That is understanding the real numbers. That's really looking at it. And a lot of people don't want to look at your numbers. Why? Because you're scared of them. This is the time to really become friends with your numbers, because the more that you understand money, the more money you can make. Okay. I don't think I can charge that much. So pricing isn't about what you think. It's about what your audience values. And I talked a little bit about this earlier. It's about what they value, what they say that is of value for them. If your offer solves a big problem, then the price reflects a transformation, not time. It's not like, well, I'm going to work on this project for 40 hours. And then by the end of those 40 hours, you're going to have that end result. It's really hard to understand how your time is tied to their transformation. More so, it needs to be a system or a product, or if you're a service business, it's like a system or a strategy or a framework that you're selling to them. It could be time, but it's based off the transformation. So in our agency, when we help businesses win government contracts, one of the services that we offer is proposal development. So we actually build out proposals, create strategies to help them win. Our win rate is 74%. Industry average is 23%. You do the math. We're winning. Okay. So to help someone who's trying to win a $7.5 million contract, like one of our clients who just won a $7.5 million contract, that is a transformation. Did we charge them $7.5 million to win? No, there is a formula to figure out how much to charge. But I guess the guarantee, it was not based off hours, it was based off transformation. We knew what value we offer. We knew how to deliver that value, even as a service business, and they were able to reap the benefits. Now, let's say they didn't win. Like, that's a gamble. They didn't win the contracts. We can't control that. That's based off the government agency, that the government contracting officer that makes those decisions. However, we can help them get further along in the journey. It's a part of strategy. It's about systems. And it's about just looking at the numbers. If we didn't know that we were that good and 8 out of 10 times our clients are winning, versus if they were doing it on their own, they're winning 2 out of 10, that really tells you a lot, and that helps them feel confident and us confident about working together. So if there was an outcome that was not in their favor, well, we're working with them until it is. And that's how we provide value to our clients. And that's the same way you could do that in your business. If no one buys at the price that you set, let's say you increase your price or your investment to work with you from hourly, from $100 an hour to, let's say, $5,000, or let's say $2,500. That $5,000 might be hard for you to digest just yet. So let's say it's $2,500 that you charge for something that was hourly. Now, the only change that's occurring is that rate, is that the investment is, because that's really what they want. They want to know what the budgeted amount is. A lot of corporations love these numbers because then they can allocate how much they're spending on a project, on a service, on an offer program that you're developing and delivering to them. So having the end result value is really powerful because it gives you clarity as to how you're going to give them or deliver a transformation. And then I'm going to talk about specifically pricing. So when someone asks me what my price is, I can't answer their question. Like, I was at a conference last week, and someone came up to me and asked me, what's your price? I'm like, I can't answer that question. I don't know what transformation I'm delivering for you, right? We need to have a conversation where you are now and where do you want to go, and fitting me into being your guide to get there. So it could be high, it could be low. I really don't know. We have to have a conversation. So if you've ever get that question, this is an easy way to transition them into a phone call. It's just saying, hey, you know what? I really want to understand your issue, your problem further, because every single situation is different, and you deliver the offer as it is. Now, if you come across people that have the same problem, obviously you have a set rate for an offer. Sometimes you need to create a custom offer. Now, are you starting to see that there are more than one way to get to your end results? It starts to become a lot of fun because you're helping people in the process, and they appreciate you and they value you and they're listening. Let's be really honest. How many times have you downloaded someone's lead magnet, right? Some free thing you get from the internet, and you put it into a folder and you have no idea what you downloaded. I have folders full of lead magnets. And I really asked myself this. I said, why do I keep downloading these lead magnets, right? And I don't do them anymore, but I used to do this all the time. Download someone's lead magnet, download someone's ebook, download someone's guide, right? And it wasn't necessarily that I was making a business decision. It was me making a fear-led decision. I was afraid. I didn't know what information I needed. I didn't know where to look. I didn't know what to to ask. So I was just consuming all of it. And that was just slowing me down. I wish I would have known what I know now, which is to invest in a coach sooner. It's like we go so much faster. I go so much faster when I invest in a coach because I'm not wasting my time trying to test whether or not something is working. I already know it's working because I can see the proof and the results from what they're telling me. And so I share that because if you are in the process of like, you know what, I can get that information online, totally, you can. There's a lot of really smart people. I'm just challenging you to consider how long is it going to take in order for you to get the result that you want. Because if you're charging hourly, then you're delaying someone else's transformation because you're charging hourly. Like, how can you go faster? How can you go faster and everyone win? Especially if you've been running your business for a while. I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine who's been in business for a really long time, like almost 10 years, I would believe. I have to reach out to her. But almost 10 years. And she was charging hourly. And thank God I came across a coach who taught me how to create premium offers, because she's still charging hourly and she has not surpassed the revenue goals that I have. And it's not because of anything other than how we are valuing our time and how we're valuing the time of our clients. Because as I work faster, as my team worked faster, as people work faster and better and they become masters of what they do, then you make less money. Like if you're charging $100 an hour per se, and you're starting out and it takes you 5 hours to complete a project, that's $500. Let's 2-3 years from now, you increase your rate, let's say to $200, but now it's only taking you 2 hours. Now you do see that you now make $300 or $600, but you're actually not going that far. You've only increased your value by $100. So when you create a premium offer, you're increasing your investment to work with you exponentially larger than that because of the transformation you're delivering. And you don't have to wait years to figure that out. You can start doing that right now. It doesn't matter where you are in business. If you can deliver a solution, if you can provide a result, you could create a premium offer. And this comes down to like, I don't have a lot of leads. Like I don't have a lot of people to sell to hit my income goal. And I believe this too. I believe this for a really long time, this lie. And I'm going to explain to you why it's a lie. Okay. So social media vanity metrics. It's when you have a big audience, and we've seen this, we've all seen this, where someone will have millions of followers on Instagram or TikTok or even LinkedIn, and they're not making any money. YouTube, same thing. And they're not making any money. Why? Because they don't know how to create a premium offer. They don't know how to sell to their audience. So do you need a big audience to make money? No, you don't. You actually just need to go out into the market and share your solution with people so that they know that you're the go-to for the thing that they're looking to get solved. That's it. It's really quite simple. You know, in my agency, a lot of clients startups would come to me, specifically a startup, and say, well, how much do you charge for a website and a logo and branding material? And I'd ask them, so who are you selling to? They said, well, we're not there yet. We just want to get all, our designs done, or our logo design and website designed and everything. And I said, you're going to waste a lot of money. And they couldn't understand the concept. And I'm going to share with you the concept really quickly. Is that if you start designing all of those elements before you have an audience, you will potentially repel the right audience and attract the wrong audience. Like say your favorite color is pink and you're like, I love pink. I want my website to be pink. I want my logo to be pink. Okay. And that's what a color I'm going to use. And if I'm trying to target people who don't like color pink and that they prefer blue, then I am repelling the audience just by the color. This is color psychology. And then let's take it one level deeper. What about copy? Like, have you ever considered what copy to use? This is why, even with AI, even with ChatGPT, even with just you're copying and pasting from someone else's website or your competitor, it doesn't work very well. Because if you don't understand how people feel and what they're thinking when they come across your information, when they're trying to solve the problem that you solve in the way that you solve it, that makes you unique. No one else can do that. Then it like, if you don't know those things, then it's going to be very generic, and your conversions are going to be really low, period. Messaging is key. If I came on and I talked about spreadsheets and Excel and did the math and showed you this entire spreadsheet and did all the money math there, it would just, a lot of you would be like, it would just glaze over your head. It would just be like, yeah, I'll go get that. Or, oh my gosh, I hate Excel, right? If I don't know my audience, then it's just like, I'm just talking to myself, and that's no fun. So graphics, videos, messaging, everything related to aesthetics. So like what it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like, how it is really creating emotion. All of those things create emotion. So how is it creating emotion? And that's actually going to dictate whether or not you sell anything. So if you don't know who you're selling to, don't start creating logos and websites and brochures and all that stuff. That is not going to work. The first thing that you need to do in business, and for quite a while actually, is to talk to your audience. Is literally just get into the DMs and be like, hey, do you have 5 minutes? I just want to pick your brain. People don't like that term, pick your brain. But I just have a few questions and just want to learn more about you. Consume their content, scroll in the comments, right? Like, get familiar with who they are. If you have an online business, go offline, like drive over to a local business that you would potentially do business with and ask the questions. Hey, is it okay if you just take a 2 or 3 minute survey? I just want to learn more about what you do, how you do it, who are the businesses that you trust now, why, just asking those questions. There's so many questions you can ask, but asking specific research related questions helps you increase your clarity as to who you're selling to, and in the process increases the audience's confidence in who you are. So when you talk to someone and you're asking them questions, they feel like, wow, you really care. I want to talk to you more, right? They lean in. Maybe you want to do this on your podcast. Maybe you want to do this on your website, right? Just have like a questionnaire to just ask them, tell me more about who you are. When they book a call, tell me more. Like, what are some questions that you can get answered, and use that information. You might have a form and you're not using it. You got to use it. You got to use the form. Go back to that data in Calendly. Go back to that data in your appointment setter and see what those responses are, so that you can understand more of the people that you're attracting, because they may or may not be your ideal client. And then it'll just be like this epiphany, like, oh my gosh, I've been attracting the wrong people for all this time and I didn't even know it. But you have all of the information to make that decision. How to change your messaging, how to attract the right buyers for what you're selling. Okay, I hope that helped. So that answers the how. Like, how do I don't have enough leads. When you're selling premium offers, you don't need a lot of people to buy what you're selling. You just need the right people to buy what you're selling. So if you're charging $5,000 and you typically make $5,000 a month, you just need to sell one. It's like, you just need one, opposed to 3, you need 1, right? And now you can serve that one person with the same energy that you would have given 3 people. It's so cool. Everybody wins. And they go faster, 3 times faster or more. And you obviously can become the expert, the authority, someone who really cares and passionately wants them to get to where they want to go as quickly as possible because that's what they want. All right. If you're afraid to sell, I was afraid to sell. I didn't want to come across pushy. I didn't want people to think that like I was in it for me. I was really trying to help them make a decision. And I still do. If you get on the phone with me, I'm just like, okay, so how are we going to work together? Tell me more about your business. I want to see how we can fit my program into your business and your goals. And if it's not the right fit, I'm going to send you on your way and just towards someone else that can help you. But if you are the right fit, then it's like, okay, well, I would like to invite you to this opportunity so that you can go further. Does that sound salesy? No, that's service. That's serving someone to achieve the goal that they already have. And if you think of your business in this way, you'll win more. Like I imagine myself, even when I'm doing prospecting, like reaching out to cold audiences, and I get no's. I'm like, all right, awesome. Like, can I ask you why you said no? And they say to me, well, I already have a coach, right? I already have a coach. Sometimes I hear that. And I said, congratulations. I'm so glad. I hope that you get the transformation that you desire. There's one time that I got this lady responded back and she was just like, I have never received that response. And I said, I really care about your outcome. And she's like, can you tell me what you do again? She was inquisitive. She's like, wait, what just happened? And that is where we stand, where I teach people to be, is so supportive and loving and caring about people getting the transformation that they've already invested in. It's okay. That's absolutely okay. Are they taken care of? Yes. Awesome. Move on to the next table that needs water, move on to the next person that needs what you have, because that's really what we're doing here. We're not trying to steal from someone. We're trying to accept that there is abundance everywhere. So that means that there's an abundance of clients. There's an abundance of offers you could create. There's an abundance of things that you could sell and provide to your clients without driving you crazy, that you could actually have freedom in your business. And if your audience can't afford it, you have the wrong audience. And it's a hard pill to swallow. And sometimes it's just challenging. Like there's different strategies and scenarios and people, like there's gray areas in that. But if they're not buying, you're following my system to a T, and they're not converting into sales, then it's the wrong audience. And that's okay, because maybe there's an offer that will be better suited for them. It's okay. We just need to do a little bit more market research, right? We can just pull that skill out and learn more about what are they looking for? What do they need? Why did they get on my email list in the first place? And that way you could create an offer for them specifically so that they can get to where they want to go as quickly as possible. And if you need to make money fast and it feels like what I'm telling you takes a lot of time, just know that it doesn't have to. It's really in your control. Everything is in your control. Your offer creation is in your control. Your business growth is in your control. The type of clients you attract is in your control. The systems that you use is in your control. When you hire is in your, everything in your business is in your control. And for a long time, you might have not had that, right? You were working for someone else, and that's totally fine. You didn't have to worry about those things. You didn't need to worry about those things. And now you do. That's just you. You have to give yourself permission to own that so that you can move forward. Not everything at once. Just focus on the right steps. So here are the right steps. First, find who your audience is. Second, then create an offer to sell to that audience. And third, deliver on what you promised. That's it. That's the game of business. That's it. So now you know where, how much you want to make, and having control, not how much can I get, it's how much do I want. Now you have a system that you could apply to your business, which can help you create offers. And if you want more guidance and more support, and specifically how you can do this in your business, what I'd like you to do is click the link in the description of this video. And there, I will actually tell you how you can start doing this right now. It doesn't have to take forever. It actually can start working for you right now if you allow it to. So, giving yourself permission to move forward and achieve your goals this year that I know you can. In the next 90 days, your life can be completely different if you allow it to. No one else can control that, but you have to be the first one to take action. So click the link down below, and there's an opportunity for you to schedule a call with me, and we could talk through your business. Let's see where you're at. I tend to give a lot of value. I feel like I need to have a testimonial reel just for these strategy calls, because every single time I'm like, the majority, they just tell me, man, this was worth money. This was worth money. And I'm like, no, I'm just honestly just want to help you get to where you want to go as quickly as possible. Just eliminate all the junk and the waste that's been just kind of filling up your mind so that you can focus on really what matters most. Having more freedom, having more time, having more money, right? So that you can actually bless your family, travel with your friends and your family, your loved ones, just impact the community in a way that you've always wanted to, and really just give yourself permission to achieve the goals that you already have. Like, they're already in you. You just need to give yourself permission. So give yourself permission to take action, move right now to book a call for free. And if you're a right fit, we'll invite you into our programs. And if not, then we will bless you into the right direction so that you can really start to create transformation in your life now. All right, guys. God bless you. See you around.